Okay, let's start with reading. Let's talk about tall tales. Before we start with the tall tales that it's for today, group number 1 and group number 2, Pecosville and Paul Bunyan, who can tell me what is a tall tale, class? What is a tall tale?
It's a story of exaggeration.
Exageran.
That's right, it's an exaggeration. It's a story that it tells things that they are too tall, like it says, they are fish tales because they are not true. So there are some exaggeration in the story. Perfect. Now, group number 1 was assigned to read Pecosville, that it was Ana, Andrea, Alberto, Johnny, and Fernando. Group number 2, Paul Bunyan, was Camila, Gabriela, Kiara, Hermes, and Marcel. So today we're going to start with group 1 and 2. Tomorrow we're going to continue with 3 and 4, but everybody should be paying attention. At the end, I'm going to share a link. It's a quiz. It's a quiz, so you should pay attention to these stories. Yes? Group 3 and 4 paying attention also. Now let's start. You can have this with your with your notebook. You can be ready with your notebook. If you remember in the last class, in reading class number 1, we complete this in the notebook. So that can help you today to talk about your story that you were assigned. Yes? So let's start with group number 1. Let's talk about Pecosville. Pecosville. So before this, I'm going to be sharing here the story of Pecosville so that it can help you to share the information that you have about Pecosville. So who wants to start in group number 1? Let's see. I see Alberto connected. Anna, is it Anna connected? Andrea? Caleb, your microphone, please. Danny and Fernando? Yes. Okay, let's see. Fernando, tell me, what things do you remember about this story about Pecosville?
Pecosville. Antes it's not called Pecosville.
Okay, that's right. It wasn't called Pecosville. What was the original name for this boy?
Baby Bill.
Baby Bill, that's right. Perfect. And why now it's called Pecosville?
Because he leave the car and I don't know how to say it in English.
Okay, try to say it in English. Group number 1, Alberto, you're in group number 1. You can help Fernando to explain this about why it's now Pecosville the name. He wasn't called Pecosville at the beginning of the story. It was another name. It was Baby Bill, William. It was William, then Baby Bill, but then it was Pecosville. Why? Anna, now it's connected. Anna, you can help your classmates. Why it's now called Pecosville? No Baby Bill or William. No, you don't remember? Okay, I'm going to tell you. It's now called, remember that it's in the river. So that river, it's called Pecos. So that's why it's called Pecosville now. He was considered, he changed the name for this boy. Now, what is happening in this part of the story, class? What is happening? Just group number 1.
Baby Bill left the car.
Okay, that's right. He was in a wagon and now he was in the river. And what happened now? That he was in the river. He was no more in the covered wagon that he was with his family. Can you mention one of the exaggeration that he was here mentioned in this story, in this part? Remember, it's a baby. Alberto, do you think the babies can swim? They can learn by themselves? No, right? Yeah. That is an example of exaggeration. He was swimming.
Yes, that is
babies.
An exaggeration.
Yes, perfect. So look, we're going to identify some exaggerations of the story. Babies cannot swim. You didn't learn to swim when you were like a baby the same day you were born, and it's happening here. He was out of the wagon and he was learning to swim by himself, and that's not true. It's impossible. So the family didn't notice that he was swimming. Okay.
My brother, we can swim.
Yes? Okay, let's continue here. 3 years, but it's learning, not the same day. Someone else is teaching how to swim, not by himself. And Pecos Bill was learning by himself. He was a baby.
But is a pool like this,
Okay, thank you, Colette. Thank you. Now let's continue. Just group number 1. Now, what happened there, class?
How is called that animal?
How do you say this in English? Alberto, Ana.
A China teacher Pecos Bill to, right? I don't know. No, a coyote, yes.
Okay,
Teacher
it's a coyote. Okay, perfect. Is teaching what to Pecos Bill?
To race with the coyote.
Okay, perfect, Fernando. Thank you. So Pecos Bill was raised by the coyote. That's right. The coyote was like the mom. Remember that he was swimming in the river by himself, and then he was alone. So the coyote teach different things that moms tells to do. He was the coyote. So he was growing with coyotes. Thank you, Fernando. Now let's give the chance to Anna. It's your turn, Anna.
Okay. Wait. For what part is that my internet is connected and I'm going to connect again.
Okay, we're talking about that Pecos Bill, it was raised by a coyote. Now, this is an exaggeration because you cannot be raised. A coyote cannot be your mom, it cannot be your dad, right? Now, what happened then, Anna? After that, what's happening in this part of the story?
So pesos will be spent the next 7 years running. Will be coyotes. When they hovered over the moon, he rode along with them. When they hunted, we chased by Krill across the park with them. They learned how to read the scents and wind and both to stay still. He turned invisible. He was a fine hot day in the middle of summer, and Pesos Bill was playing tag in some prairie dogs when I saw an unfamiliar shape, a tall creature.
Okay, thank you, Anna, but you were reading. Class, I don't want you to be reading in the class. Just give me in your own words, what do you understand about this? Remember that this homework, you have it since last week, so you have 2 weeks to read this story. So what do you understand about this? What is happening here? Alberto, can you explain me what is happening here? With your own words, Alberto, just Alberto.
Pecos Bill was found of a cowboy.
Okay, excellent. Pecos Bill saw a cowboy, and this cowboy is what? It was his brother. It's his brother, this. Pecos Bill's brother.
Yes.
And now, excellent. And now, what happened in this part, Alberto? What else is happening with this cowboy? What is this cowboy saying to Pecos Bill? What is he saying?
This brother
What is happening, Alberto? Bob is the brother of Pecos Bill, is talking with Pecos Bill, and he mentioned He's saying you are not a coyote, you are a human. Because Pecosville was thinking that he is a coyote, right?
Yes.
And in which way he knows that it's not a coyote? It's a human. What it says here, it was turning in circles trying to see his tail. So this boy was like the dogs that they are in circles looking for the tail, and he find out that he doesn't have one. Okay, excellent. Now then if we continue with the story, and it says that Pecosville, it's a you find something that it's characteristics of Pecosville, it's the horse, right? Do you remember the name of this horse class, the group number 1?
Widowmaker.
Widowmaker. Thank you, Fernando. That is the name of this horse. It's a Widowmaker. And this is the horse of Pecosville. This is Pecosville now. And what is riding the horse, this class? What is the problem in this story? What is that problem and what is the solution that Pecosville has to these people with the horse?
Pecosville tried to stop a tornado.
That's right. It was a tornado or it wasn't a cyclone?
It was?
A cyclone or a tornado? Well, it's the same. Cyclone, it's another storm. It's not a tornado, it's a cyclone. But that's the answer, Fernando. Excellent. Pecosville was trying to save these people from a cyclone, from a tornado. Yes, and it was dry. He hasn't rained there, so he was helping with the horse. So at the end, it mentioned here. At the end here, it says that there are some unbelievable things. Do you think that one person can travel from one place to another place to rescue you from the tornadoes, from a cyclone? It's impossible, right? It's impossible. And it says that he is teaching us the new ways to do things like lassoing, just with a lasso, just with a rope, he was using to stop this cyclone. And it's impossible. You can use a lasso, you're not gonna use a rope to stop the cyclone. So that is impossible. It's impossible. So just by reading this, we know that it's a total. Okay, thank you, group number 1. Thank you, Fernando, Ana, and Alberto. Okay, now group number 2. Is it Camila, Gabriela, Kiara, Hermes, and Marcelo connected? Yes? Gabriela?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Who wants to start in group
Paul
number
Bunyan.
2? Paul Bunyan.
Me, Gabriela, I want to start.
Gabriela. Okay, remember, just group number 2 microphone. So I'm going to be checking who is participating in group number 2. Okay, tell me, Gabriela, what things do you remember about Paul Bunyan?
That Paul Bunyan was a baby that was born on Maine.
Okay, perfect. What else?
And he was, the same day he was grow up.
He was growing the same
a
day.
big boy.
He was a big boy in the same day, like John Henry, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. And that is an exaggeration. You cannot grow in the same day that you was born.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. What else? Continue, Tom.
And he was so big that it took 5 stories to bring him.
Okay, perfect. He was big. Perfect. What else you can tell me about?
And he was, when he grew up, Paul Bunyan knew that is a job for him.
Okay, and what is the job of Paul Bunyan? What was the job?
Talar árboles.
Okay, and how do you say those people that they do this activity class? Who knows? Group number 2. It was what?
He was.
How do you say
The
that
best
people that
logger
it's
in the country.
a logger? You can say it's a logger or it's a lumberjack.
A logger.
A lumberjack, a logger is the person that cuts trees. So it was the best logger in the country. Using what? How do you call this in English class? This tool that he
Hammer. I don't know.
Hammer.
Yes, it looks like a hammer, but it's an ox. Okay, yeah, it's okay.
Yes. In Spanish, the loggers are leñadores.
Okay, logger. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Khaled. Now, thank you, Gabriel. Let's continue. Group number 2 is Marcelo. Marcelo, can you continue talking about something else that you remember about your story that you were assigned?
And to Paul Bunyan is a logger.
Okay, it's a logger, the best logger.
To baby Paul Bunyan to 7 cigüeñas lo tuvieron que traer. The mascot is Babe.
Okay, it's in this story is mentioned Babe. Who was Babe?
And creo to Rio, Mississippi.
Okay, he was crossing the Mississippi River with Babe. Can you
Babe
describe me Babe?
It's blue.
It's blue. Is it possible that it can be blue, this animal?
No,
Possible.
What is Babe blue?
nieve.
What is blue? Okay, tell me, Marcela, but in
Hacía mucha
English.
nieve y él
In
se quedó
English.
enterrado.
Yes, but in English, say it in English. You have to speak in English.
To nieve, no me acuerdo cómo.
How do you say snow? It was
Snow.
warm blue because of the cold snow.
Enterred in the snow and Paul saved to Babe in the color changed to blue.
It changed to blue. That's right. What else you remember about your story, Marcelo?
It is this. Cuando tenía hipo. To hipo. To a terremoto sonaban.
Just that. Okay, thank you, Marcelo. Thank you. Let's see now, Kiara. Can you continue? Can you mention some things that you remember in your story in Paul Bunyan, Kiara? Is Kiara connected? No.
Yes.
Yes, Hermes?
Yes.
Okay, tell me, Hermes. Tell me something about Paul Bunyan, about the story in general.
It's a story about a person who is larger than life. The description in the story exaggerates much greater than in real life. The story describes how Paul Bunyan became a great, tallest, and fastest lumber in the United States. He found a small blue ox that grew bigger than him. Offering his name was Babe.
Okay, thank you, Hermes. Thank you. So you mentioned the important information that it's a social. He has a babe that it's blue because of the color of the, this color is because of the snow. And you mentioned that he was growing so tall as the also babe was growing tall. So it's a tall tale for that reason. And he was a lumberjack. What does a lumberjack do? Remember that they cut trees. They cut trees, so that's why you see that he has this tool. And the this animal Babe, he was helping to hold the trees that he was cutting. Okay, now here at the end, here it says something that is important about this story that we have. It's what is happening in this part of the story, because that is the problem and what is the solution. Group number 2, what can you tell me about this problem and what is the solution of this Paul Bunyan?
To the snowboard no dejaba el agua pasar.
In English. Try to say it in English.
There's no,
Mhm.
no,
No pass with the snow.
snow, no,
Mhm.
I don't know cómo decirlo.
Así se dice. The problem is the water no can be passed with the snow or both the snow.
Mhm. And then what happened? What is the solution, class? What was the solution? What
To
happened at the
cave
end?
to main and taller, I don't know.
No. Okay, remember. You don't remember? You didn't finish to read this part? Okay, don't worry.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, Marcelo, you have the idea, but you have to say it in English, not in Spanish. Remember, I told you to speak all the time in English. Now, if you mentioned something important, all of you, the people that participate from group number 2, that you mentioned that he was, it was a lumberjack, he was drawing, and you mentioned a babe. So that is the most important. And just by using this information, you know that it's a tall tale, and it wasn't the real name. Paul Bunyan wasn't the real name of this story. So it's just a fictional story because it doesn't exist, just in the imagination of the author. And we can find different exaggeration here that it says that he created the Grand Canyon with an ox. That is impossible. He cannot create the Grand Canyon just with an ox. And so that it makes
The Grand
this
Canyon.
total incredible because he has a lot of imagination. And also it says here he have information in lumberjack. Don't forget that he was a lumberjack. It's a person that cuts down trees. And he travels from Maine to Minnesota. This is from the United States. So it's these places, they exist. They are real places, but the Paul Bunyan, it's not real. Now, just by this, let's go back here. Let me stop sharing here this presentation. I'm going to share again the presentation. Well, we have here the recap, and now we're going to complete the quizzes. I'm going to share this link to all of you.
Envíe el link, por favor.
Yes, I'm going to send the link. What we're going to do with this class?
Por
We're
fin.
going to, you're going to try to answer with the things that you understand about these two stories. So let me share the link, please. Just hold on. Copy the link. And I'm going to send through the chat. You are going to answer according to the things that you remember about Paul Bunyan and Pecosville. Even though you didn't read this story, you were paying attention and you were listening to your classmates that they were assigned to read this story. So you can join. Let's see here. Hermes, Gabi. Rebecca, tell me, Rebecca.
I am confused. One day I read the story of the group number 2, but I read other time my story.
You read the two stories. You read Paul Bunyan and also Johnny
Yes,
Cole.
but I confused.
You were
Yes, but I
confused?
confused.
Yes, I shared the 4 stories. So if you want to read the 4 of them, it's okay. It's better for you. You can learn more things about tall tales and you can learn more new words about this. So it's okay, but you were assigned 1 story. So please try to read it. Group number 3 and 4 for tomorrow. So remember that tomorrow it's Isabela, Lucia, Mia, Rebecca, Joshua, Santiago Hernandez. Group number 3, Johnny Cole. Group number 4,
Teacher, I am.
Rosa, Valerie, Sian, Khaled, and Santiago Chavez for Johnny Appleseed. So for tomorrow, they are going to share the story. Yes? Okay, let's start now. Let's start. You're going to complete it now.
4.
How many buckles?
15 questions, 15 questions. So let's see. Here we have 2 minutes.
Oh, what?
Peckerville was his name. Esto.
No.
Peckerville. No quiero más estoy más separado. Baby deer. Está en el cuarto. Ah.
Did you finish class? Did you finish this? The quiz? No?
I am.
Miss.
Tell me, Khalid. Finished?
Yes.
Yes, you finished class? All of you finished? No?
Yes.
I finished, Miss.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's finish your quiz. If you finish, you are dismissed to disconnect. Tomorrow, we're going to check who was the first, second, and third
Tenemos que
place,
ver
and we're going to
quién
check
es.
the answer. I'm going to check your
I'm the
answer. So
second.
if you finish all the 15 questions, if you are sure that you finished, click on finish, and then you can disconnect. But if you are sure that you already finished,
No, I don't know.
Miss, yo llegué primero.
yes,
Primer lugar.
first place, yes, it was first place Marcelo there. So finish all
Llegué
the
en primer
questions,
lugar,
15.
pero terminé
Okay.
de ya ratos.
Finish, all of you finished. Who's missing the question?
Yes.
Rebecca,
Finish,
Santiago
finish.
Chavez.
Yeah. Miss, I don't know how to finish.
Finished.
El
You
juego.
know. You just answered the 15 question. I'm going to clean it nanny once you finish. So I just want to be sure that you answered 15 questions.
Ya quítelo.
Yes,
I finished, but
finish.
Sí, quítalo.
I think
Quítalo.
I finished.
You
But,
finished? Okay.
no sé cómo salirme, así que le quité la X.
Okay, it's okay. Just Rebecca was missing to answer all the 15 questions.
Miss, I think, yeah, I finished.
Yes, you finished? Okay, so I'm going to click in then. I just want to be sure that all of you finished. So we're going to check first place. It was third place Rosa, second Fer, and Gabby first place. So Gabriela, you were the winner of this. And the second Fernando, and number 3 Rosa. Excellent. So tomorrow we're going to check the answer. Don't worry, tomorrow, because we don't have more time today. So tomorrow we're going to check the answers to see in which answers you made a mistake.
Goodbye.
Okay, so let's finish. Remember tomorrow, group number 3 and number 4. Bye-bye.